This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
For the first time this year, police are investigating a shooting in St. Genevieve. The attack in the middle of the morning left 3 people hurt, including the suspected gunman. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Ann Allred. Police tell us 2 of the people who were hurt are in critical condition right now, including the suspected gunman. St. Genevieve is about an hour south of St. Louis. 5 on your side's Diamond Palmer joins us in studio after spending the day in St. Gen and talking to the victim's family.
Well, and St. Genevieve police tell me they believe this to be a domestic violence situation. They were notified when one of the victims called 911. Police say all 3 people are in their 30s to 40s and they were living together at the time of the shooting. Right now, their investigation has not revealed a motive for this shooting.
Hopefully my nephew lives through this, to tell what exactly happened,
Tasha Donaby says her nephew Jeremy Dickerson is still in surgery after he was shot Friday morning. It happened in St. Genevieve, a town of just over 4,600 people.
I don't understand what went wrong. All we know is we got a call and said that 3 people got shot in the house, but we didn't know. I didn't know it was this bad until I got here.
Donaby says that call was everything she needed to drop what she was doing and get to her nephew's home on Market Street. She tells 5 on your side he'd lived with his wife and best friend for nearly a decade. The St. Genevieve Police Department says around 10 a.m. Friday morning, a man shot 2 people, including Donaby's nephew and his wife. Police say the shooting happened inside the living room of the home. Dickerson was shot in the chest and hand, left in critical condition. His wife shot in the leg in serious but stable condition. And the shooter shot himself in the head, listed in critical condition. Police took the shooter into custody, but say the motive is still unclear.
We do not know yet.
According to Chief Crump, the shooting is the first one of the year. Just last year, they only had 1 shooting.
It is rare for us to have any type of shooting, especially a shooting with multiple victims. It is something we trained for and was prepared for. Our guys done a great job and had the scene secured within minutes of being on scene.
Donaby says she just saw her nephew at his job yesterday and can't help but to think about the people who knew and love him like her.
He worked at Rhodes Service Station. Everybody knew him in St. Genevieve, graduated from high school here. Very good kid.
St. Genevieve's police chief says his department is also working with their sheriff's office and will plan to release more information this evening or weekend. The Missouri State Highway Patrol is helping process the scene.
Diamond, thank you. 3 men with multiple felonies in a human trafficking case pleaded not guilty this morning in St. Charles County. All of them are accused of keeping a 20-year-old man captive for months, forcing him to work and beating him. Tonight, our Justina Cornell has the latest details on this case and joins us in studio. Justina.
Yeah, and so those suspects remain locked up until they have another hearing next week. Meanwhile, the victim will get help from the Eastern District of Missouri Human Trafficking Task Force. Now, 2 of their detectives are currently with him in the hospital and will be with him. Experts and advocates tell me victims can be lured to the U.S. under a false hope, only to be deceived.
The promises they have been given back then in their own home countries was false promises by human traffickers.
Tricked by traffickers. It's a traumatic situation Dr. Shima Rastami has unfortunately seen.
The COVID pandemic has made the situation of human trafficking even worse.
Rastami is the executive director of the Gateway Alliance Against Human Trafficking. She said their agency is the only one in the state to focus on labor trafficking.
We have seen increase in number of labor abuses.
And just this week, St. Charles County prosecuting attorney charged 3 men accused of human trafficking a 20-year-old man from India. Police say the main suspect, Venkatesh Reddy Sadaru, brought his cousin to the U.S. under a student visa to go to college. But instead, police say the victim was brutally beaten into forced labor.
And there are so many traffickers that they are perfectly reliable and also liable to tell lies to different departments, including DHS, about the intention they are actually bringing these people over.
Rastami said these victims are often stripped of everything.
And you think about this individual brought from a foreign country with a different culture to somewhere isolated.
They tell them that if they do anything wrong, they're going to weaponize law enforcement by having them deported and arrested and all of that.
Javad Kazali, an immigration attorney, says community cooperation is key.
Having the cooperation of all of our community, including our immigrants, is important.
Rastami agrees and urges people to be proactive.
Trust your gut. If you see something doesn't sound right, perhaps it's not right, and report it. Say something.
We're told the victim will get resources for housing and services. Now, there could be a chance for him to attain a U or T visa, which are visas for victims of crimes, to continue cooperating in this case. As for the 3 suspects, they will face the judge again on December 7th for a bond hearing.
The city of St. Louis joined several other local governments to freeze property taxes for most seniors. Governor Mike Parson signed a bill into law creating the option for local property tax freezes. Our political editor Mark Maxwell is here to explain how you can qualify. Mark.
Well, for starters, if you're 62 or older and you own a home in the city of St. Louis, soon you can fill out a form with the city assessor's office to apply for that property tax freeze. But here's the catch. The assessor isn't scheduled to regularly reevaluate the value of homes again until 2025. So most people won't see the impact of that freeze for another year or 2. Here's a look at the numbers. The city estimates roughly 6,600 seniors, 62 and older, own a home worth less than $500,000, and that's who can qualify. But how much would you save? A fiscal note in the board bill estimates most seniors would save about $50 to $75 a year, or a little more than $1 a week. So if every senior who qualifies applies each year, that can start to add up. So we asked the members of the Board of Aldermen who voted for this what impact this might have on city finances.
The budget process is always very fluid, but the most conservative estimates has it could cost anywhere from $400,000 to $600,000 a year. I think that's a doable factor in the budget year over year, particularly if we're talking about trying to save senior citizens some money.
$500,000 is an amount that is important to the city's budget, and I don't take that lightly. But what we need to think about here is that this is a bill to help seniors in our community. It's a way for the city to provide a tax credit to seniors who may need it to stay in their homes.
One other catch, this only applies to the city government's share of your property taxes. You'll see that read out on your tax bill. So if you pay a property tax to a local school district or the zoo or some other local entity, that portion of your tax bill can still go up even if you qualify for this freeze.
The rain last night was helpful, but it was far from a drought buster. 5 on your side, Tracy Hansen has an update on river levels and soil moisture as we head into the driest season of the year.
Some rainfall is better than no rainfall, but last night's totals weren't all that impressive, about an inch or less for many areas. So does that even impact our drought status here in Missouri and Illinois? For that, we turn to the expert, senior hydrologist with the National Weather Service, Mark Fuchs.
It's a good amount. If you could get rainfall like this every week, once a week, we would not have rainfall or drought issues around here to worry about. We'd be fine.
Of course, St. Louis weather isn't going to cooperate like that.
It's kind of up to, how much rain we get. We can't, create water in the waterways. We have dams we can release from that, but once we release it, it's gone.
We are in drought and winter is not helpful.
We're not in dire straits here in terms of drought, but we are getting into the drier time of the year, so you usually don't see a lot of variation one way or the other this time of the year.
River levels are low and they are forecast to stay low, which will impact barge traffic along the Missouri and Mississippi.
If they can't use the river to transport a lot of these goods, they have to resort to much more expensive means of doing that. They can use rail or they can use trucks, van lines, but when you're looking at the quantity of goods that we're trying to go up and down the river with, that gets real expensive in a big hurry, a lot more expensive than river traffic is.
Low water levels can impact wells and drinking water too, something we'll need to watch for if conditions don't improve. Tracy Henson, 5 on your side.
At last check, most of the 5 on your side coverage area is considered to be in a moderate drought. Coming up, fresh food to go, the mobile pantry serving one community. Plus, teachers walk out of a South City school to protest the conditions inside. How administrators are responding tonight.
Chilly across the bi-state area this evening, but most of the rain winding down. There's one chance for rain this weekend. We'll break down the timing on that coming up.